Hi, hopefully you can hear me. This is David Erler again. This is part three um, of what is wrong with the ATA. Uh, and I've said before, there's nothing wrong with the ATA. I myself have been studying with the ATA for about 8 months now. So if you see a little bit of difference in me, is because um, you know I've been working out, and I've lost a little bit of weight, and I'm seeing some progress. Um, what helps is that I have instructors that are willing to let me go at my own pace, which is, I physically can't do some of the things that the much younger, and I do mean much younger, um, kids out there that are in my classes are doing. So, you know, granted, I do wear my white uniform with a black belt, and uh, I, show that my knowledge is way up there, but my physical ability on making my body do what I'm trying to make it do, it is progressing. It is progressing. Um, a couple of weeks ago, I couldn't kick past my knee, and now I'm doing about waist level, and it's progressively getting better and better and better. I'm learning not only my form that I have to know to progress to my next level, and trying to get to a point where I can perform it without hesitation and so on. I'm getting there. There are times where I'm like, okay, what was that? How do I do this again? I gotta go back, start all over, perform it again, perform it again, perform it again, until I get to the point where it feels second nature. That's the way to do a form, or the katas, is that you perform them and perform them and perform them and perform them until they do become second nature, where you're at the point where you're not thinking about what your next move is. By the time you thought of it, you've already done it. And I'm getting to that point where learning the particular form that I'm working on right now, it's getting better and better and better. Um, it's got a flying side kick in it. It's got a front kicks and side kicks and round kicks and slow kicks that you have to do in a balanced situation. And I am struggling with balance, physical balance, on trying to hold a kick in a certain position for an extended length of time. But let me tell you that I'm slowly getting better. I am having a fabulous time in class. I do go to sparring classes. I don't, I've always gotten to the adage where you don't give up, you don't back off. When you're sparring, you, or should I say when he starts to come around this way, I go back around this way and cut him off. I won't let him circle me. I stay within a range where I know he can hit me. He can hit me and kick me or whatever, but I try to stay within a range that I can hit back and at least show I can defend myself. I go to class with much younger students that can kick way above my head and knock the bejesus out of me. But I have always found, even when I was younger, spar against those that you know are a lot better than you, so you can get better. It kind of forces you to get better, because after a while you get sick and tired of having your butt kicked. So that's how my feeling is about that. You just keep going until you're at the point where you're not getting your butt kicked. I mean, eventually you are, being able to block those high kicks, and you force yourself to do, and make decisions like that, instead of having to stop and think, I should have done this better, I should have done that, and you try to get yourself so you are thinking ahead. Okay, I know he loves to kick up here, so what am I going to do next? And I'm working on getting those, the moves that I used to do that I know were very successful in. Okay, all right, when he does this, I do that. When he does this, I do this. Those kind of moves in sparring, and granted that I'm nowhere near perfect, but I do see myself getting better. Maybe not every class, but I still see myself getting better as the weeks and months go by, and I'm trying to put not only to heart what the instructor says, because he wants to see certain techniques done, because that's what he's been teaching, but I'm also trying to throw in my own techniques to throw off the person I'm sparring against, so he doesn't see the same kind of thing all the time. To be a lot more spontaneous in sparring, where, okay, you don't want to be that one that always throws a front kick or always throws your side kick. Every once in a while, throw in a spinning technique, spinning heel kick, spinning side kick, or something, and also I'm trying to work on the things that I'm not good at, what I mean is, years ago, I used to be really good at the jump spinning heel kick. Well, I can't even get myself off the floor hardly, but I'm still trying to throw those spinning kicks and get my body to move. Uh, Even, I'm far from being what I was in my 30s and early 20s, or late 20s, I should say. But I'm getting a little better each day. You probably can't tell it, but I can. I've been losing a little bit of weight. One of the other things is, yes, I look forward into losing more and getting more and more fit. Um, if you notice, I'm wearing this nice shirt, and it shows off this pit bull, and that's how I kind of see myself. You know, I'm kind of like this pit bull that just won't back up, won't give an inch. Um, you may kick my butt, but I'm still there. I may be huffing and puffing and about ready to look like I'm going to pass out, but I will spar or whatever it is in my class, and until I can hardly lift my arms anymore. Um, so that's just me, and what I'm trying to do about me getting better, because I would like to see myself get to the point where I can start teaching again. And back in those years when I was teaching, that's when I was the healthiest in my life. Um, I was going to class 5, 6 days a week if I could sometimes. I went as often as I possibly could. But yeah, life has to happen, and I do what I can. There are times, hey, I only made it to class once this week. But when I'm not in class, I try very much to train on my own, if I possibly can, an hour or so extra each day. Even if there's days when I'm in class, I have probably put in a little bit of time before going to class. I'm practicing um, one of my forms, or a certain technique that I've had some trouble with. But I'm there. I go to class when I possibly can, and I just plug on. And I'm trying to get to the point where I feel comfortable enough, and I've put in enough time to be able to start teaching again. And I would like to get back up to a third degree black belt level, if not higher, before I do start looking for a place to open up my martial arts school. You know, the martial arts school, I do want that to be a part of the ATA. I know that I have to put in time as an instructor under a master instructor. to be certified through the American Taekwondo Association. As an instructor, I am certified through the LATF. So if I wanted to open up a school, I could. It's just one of those things where I would rather teach and do the style that I'm doing now, and have the backing and advantages that the ATA offers their instructors and their people who do their schools. And if I can possibly do that, that's what I like about the ATA. They have a fantastic curriculum set up. They've already done all of the footwork and they've worked out, this is what works for a school, this is what doesn't work for a school. And I believe that using the ATA as a place to get started. Will I stay with the ATA? Well, I don't know. Like with anything, it all depends on how I treat them and how they treat me. If things go like I would like them to go, I will probably be with the ATA for a very, very long time, which is something that I'm pretty much very much looking forward to. And I will probably be making these type of videos to show my progress. Hopefully, as things goes by, you start to see less of my physical stature. Get a little skinnier and so on. You see that I'm not quite so this big hefty guy. I would, I'm looking forward to working out more and staying with the ATA as long as possible. I am, like I said, just probably repeating myself, but we'll see what happens. The ATA and me and Master Mesa, yes, his name is Master Mesa, I'm hoping that our relationship and friendship continue to grow. Not too long ago, I called and talked to Master Shanine, and he still remembers me. My gosh, that man is in his 70s, because I met Master Shanine when he was, I believe, 35, when I was 15, and I am going on 58 right now. So you do the math, and he's way up there. And I've watched some of the YouTube videos on him and his school, and to see that he is still teaching, and he is still, as I say, taking names and kicking butt. Um, he's in his 70s, and I congratulate him on just being a tough old guy. I mean, he may or may not ever see this video of me saying, wow, I, I can't say it enough. I can't say enough of saying thank you, Grandmaster David Shameen, for all of the teaching that and knowledge that you have imparted into me, because even though now I'm with the ATA, a lot of that